Broadcasting from the Blanchardstown Centre. This is Phoenix FM.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies and share pornography with one another.
According to the Nerd Index, you should be upside down in a junior high toilet around the clock.
This is Sparta!
All your bases are belong to us.
It's a trap 9000!
Leave Benny alone!
Leroy Jenkins!
The balls are inert.
And now it begins.
Hello and welcome to Nerds You Know Media on Phoenix FM, broadcasting in the Blanchardstown area or on Spotify if you're catching us later. My name is Kieran Calicon and we have a special guest today. Introduce yourself.
I'm Katie Riley. I post weird art stuffs under the name Mannequin Blue.
Fantastic. And with us as always, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Dara O'Connor and it's good to be on the show.
Exactly, that's what we like to hear. So, Katie, or Mannequin Blue, is the second of our special guests. We're still experimenting with the show format. How was your day, Katie?
That's a loaded question. Don't ask somebody how Black Friday was.
Oh man.
That's some behind the scenes secret for the people listening to this on Saturday.
Today, I feel your pain, Katie, I really do.
Yeah, perhaps for full clarity, were we all working Black Friday to some degree? Dara, I believe you were working on the tech side of things?
Yes, I was. Well, technically, Thursday was the big day because all the stores were going live. But today, I was just like, oh, what's going to break? And a lot broke, so it's fine. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no, like Katie, he's mentioned downloading things and streaming things in our panels and still put it up online,
theoretically.
Hypothetically, if one was so inclined.
I think we've definitely got a t-shirt thing. You were referencing last week's show, yeah, where we theoretically were playing Detective Pikachu theoretically without buying it.
Definitely not.
No, exactly. It's all hypothetical. It's all for educational purposes here, Kane. That's all.
Yeah. Of course. We spin wonderful yarns here.
Asking for a friend.
All right. Well, before we get into the nerdy stuff, because I know you are chomping at the bit to talk about the new Star Wars game.
It's terrible.
Katie is a very talented balloon artist, makeup artist, and cosplayer, and you were with us at JCon along with Straight Outta Canto last week. How was your JCon experience?
JCon was I don't want to say weird because weird implies bad, but it was interesting for me because it was the first convention that I was hired to be at. So they had actually hired me to come in and paint faces, and it was kind of cool. And at the same time, it was also kind of strange because none of the kids came near me. No kids. It was all adults and teenagers that wanted to be face painted, which is never normally the case. All the kids kind of looked at me and went, "Oh, that's a bit weird," or whatever, and then
ran to the sake counter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ran to the sake. They had their priorities in order. But yeah, no, it was cool. I got to paint some really awesome stuff that you wouldn't normally get to paint if it was a bunch of kids and parents waiting impatiently, so it was nice. And unfortunately, because I was worn out at that point, then I didn't get to see much else of it, because I was kind of, at that point, I was like, I want to go home, I'm tired, and I'm conned out. I got to build up my strength for DCC.
Well, actually, that leads me into a question I've actually gotten to ask you, which is, what are the strangest things you've ever face painted?
Oh gosh, that varies from day to day. I don't know. That's kind of I suppose I can, if I go by just yesterday, I had a kid ask me to paint Fortnite on his forehead. And when I said, "What do you want from Fortnite? Because do you want a character? Do you want a weapon?" He said, "No, I want the word Fortnite on my forehead." I said, "Okay, do you want me to put a rainbow on it? Do you want me to make it look?" He was like, "No, I just want the word Fortnite On my forehead.
That is a decisive customer.
He's like, listen, lady, Fortnite on the forehead. That's it.
He's like, I don't need any of your frills. Just give me what I asked for.
Oh my god. Well, I have to say that's also a T-shirt. I just want Fortnite. Oh, that's
Dara,
fantastic.
Have you ever been a Fortnite player?
I have never played the Fortnites. No,
I've been meaning to. It is free to play, isn't it?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
No, it is free to play, but here's the catch, right? It's free to play, and we sound really old, by the way, guys, because we're not hip with the kids.
I'm glad you caught that and not me.
Yeah, but it's free to play, right? The base game. However, apparently, if you wear the base skins, everyone looks down on you, so you have to shell out for the
Oh, so it's like a cultural thing.
Exactly.
You dirty pleb.
Yeah, you filthy casual. How dare you?
Not to go too behind the scenes, but there's definitely a panel in, like, because I would work with a lot of kids, and so would you. Just like 3 20 to 30 somethings trying Fortnite, being supervised by children. There's definitely something in that.
Oh my god.
We could make a podcast just out of that. Adults try Fortnite.
Oh yeah, that's funny. What's it? Because we're what, Zoomers versus, what are the kids called now? Generation something.
Boomers?
No, boomers are older.
Boomers are older. Boomers are in their 60s, right?
Yeah, 50s, 60s, yeah. So we're Zoomers. So whatever the kids are now.
No, I thought we were millennials. Millennials are like 20-somethings to 30-somethings.
Okay, so we're millennials. So millennials versus children, I suppose.
I think they're the Zoomers.
Are they the Zoomers?
The generation after us.
They got the cooler name.
They did get the cooler name, yeah.
It's like, Y2K and aliens and stuff, so we kind of get that.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Can't argue with that.
Just put a big Death Star on it.
Well, that segues into something else. This is more of a personal anecdote, but when my Stevie was pregnant, you did a lot of bump art.
I did.
On her baby.
Oh my
bump.
god,
So
you did that.
about that? Yeah, that was Katie. Yeah.
Oh wow, that was unreal. I just have to say before we go on, Katie, your stuff's amazing.
Oh,
finally,
thank
it's
you.
fantastic. And now that I learned that you did the face painting and the bump painting, oh my god, that's class. Guys, if you haven't checked her stuff out, do. She's class. Anyway, sorry, go on.
Plug my Instagram.
Yeah. So go on. Even just to go and buy, what did you paint on Stevie's bump? Because you did a few things.
I did a few things. So yeah, she was my first bump paint, and to this day, actually, she was my only bump painting.
If you're listening out there.
So yeah, if you're, I do bump paintings. Christmas is coming.
Just paint Fortnite on the bump. Anything else? No.
Fortnite on the bump.
Would you like all the bump? No. Just the word Fortnite.
Just the word Fortnite. So yeah, no, that was fun because it's actually, and now that I think about it, it's actually the reason why I started going to Comic-Con as well. Which I'll get to in a minute. But so Cian and Stevie had asked me would I paint Stevie's bump for Comic-Con because they still wanted to cosplay, but like at that point nothing really fit her anymore. So we came up with the idea that because they were doing a Star Wars theme, that we would paint the Death Star. And that was a lot of fun because I got to do it twice. So
for the Saturday and the Sunday.
Saturday and the Sunday, which was really cool. So it was kind of, by the Sunday it was a lot more refined, and it was better going into the competition than it was on the Saturday. But that was really cool. And then from there we did a couple more. So we did a Doctor Who themed where it was like the TARDIS going through, was it Gallifrey?
That's it, yeah.
In like a Van Gogh style, and then we did a portrait of Saru. Is that his name?
You're Doug Jones. Your heart belongs to Doug Jones.
From Star Trek Discovery. I think, did we do any more? I think
the BB-8 Shakespeare, yeah.
We did the BB-8 Shakespeare, that's right, for the
baby shower.
Baby shower, yes, words are escaping me right now.
You are match fit for this show.
I am. I'm doing great so far. So, yeah, we did quite a bit of Star Wars stuff, and a good bit of Star Trek is the other one.
Yes.
and then some Doctor Who. So that was a lot of fun. And I got to, the nice thing about painting Stevie as well was that normally when you body paint somebody, there's a time limit and you have to get everything done, and it's, you know, it's nice, but it's also quite stressful. Whereas with Stevie, she had no time limit. It was cool. We could just sit there and chat and drink tea, and whenever it was done, and it was a lovely experience. So I hope there's more. Not that I'm wishing pregnancy on her again, but I hope there's more nice experiences in my future. Cian's eyes just popped out of his head.
I thought I'd get away with that on the radio. Dara, have you ever had any experience with face painting or balloons or anything like that?
Yeah, man. We paint our face every week. It's in the band.
Paint a smile on my face.
Yeah, it's like, you know, obviously we would do an awful lot of it's less I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
We're all losing the words today.
Elaborate would be the word, right?
Yeah.
And colourful. So obviously we would be for the band, we'd be painting our face in coarse paint, so it's black.
Oh, I didn't put that together. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
you gotta have your death makeup on stage, man. Come on.
Exactly. But I will say, Katie, the term is corpse paint, not makeup.
Corpse paint, I like that.
That's a bit of an inside joke.
But what is paint if not makeup?
Exactly. We actually have a lot of fun at that, actually, with the band, where, you know, because that's a big thing where a lot of guys will be very serious on it. They're like, oh, it's not makeup, it's coarse paint. You're like, nah, dude, it's makeup. Girls wear it to look pretty. Come on. You know.
And we wear it to also look pretty.
But yeah, it's I have to say, like, we started doing it, and we were the only ones who were doing it, and there's a reason for that. Because it's a pain in the you-know-what when you show up and you're like, hey, guys, yeah, whatever. And then we don't wear... I remember one time we did a show, and I'm not going to say where it was, but it was with somebody who... He disappeared. He stole the money and disappeared. But
no.
Yeah, but we turned up, and he had lied to us. The gear was terrible. And he goes... And it was a Thursday night. And he goes, why aren't you wearing the paint? And we're like, listen, man, there's 4 people here. It's a Thursday night, and we don't want to be here. And we went on, we killed the show. We ended up drawing, you know, more people than anyone else there. And then he stole the money. He disappeared. However, his girlfriend did come on to me, and the lads were all like, you could have stole his girlfriend if you wanted it. And I was like, damn it, I probably should have. And this was a while ago, so I was just like, But
why haven't you told? Why I've been on this show for like 3 or 4 months now. Why didn't you lead with that story?
That story was a roller coaster of emotion from start to finish.
Because it never came up. I never talk about band stuff in this show.
You should. It deserves its own spin-off show.
Just introduce yourself as, hi, I'm Dara.
If you're not wearing the corpse paint for the show, you should, for the benefit of radio.
No, the absolute effort of that's incredible. Like, I have to say, we do have it down to a point now after doing it for 4 years. That show was, 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago in particular. But no, this is, after doing it for like 4 years, we have it down to a science where we can do the paint in like 15 minutes.
Nice.
So it's pretty quick. However, there was a funny story earlier on to it when there were 6 of us in the Fibbers bathroom putting it on, and then the guy walks in. Our singer didn't really kind of get the hang of it at the beginning, and he put way too much black on, and he looked like he had blackface. And, and then the promoter walks in, he goes, "Oh, Jesus, lads," and then walks out. I know our singer did get there now. To be fair, it is kind of the mix between, you start off with white Katie, and then you would kind of work the black into it.
I'm learning here today.
Yeah. I'm so glad we have our makeup specialist on learning things.
But and remember, it's coarse paint, not makeup.
Okay.
But that's kind of it. Yeah, Cian. So I would have regular experience of it, but it's something that we do now, and you're kind of sitting there going, "Oh man, why did we start doing this?" It's like the whole gimmick thing, you know, when people expect it, so you got to kind of do it. But no, it's fine. Like we enjoy it, you know. It's just,
well, see, this is the thing as well. You become known for it. So like I've been to other things apart. So when I go to Comic-Con, you know yourself, I always go, you know, in some kind of crazy balloon cosplay thing. But then, you know, you're chatting to people outside of Comic-Con, and they're talking about, you know, it comes up in conversation, and they say, "Oh, I saw this really cool, you know, there was a girl wearing balloons," and I go, yeah, that was me. So like we did have that at JCon, where I was chatting to people while I was painting them, and I was, because when I went to JCon, I went kind of in my normal
Your civvies.
Yeah.
civvies, yeah, because I just thought, well, it's going to be a bit awkward trying to paint someone when I'm covered in balloons. You can't really move as well, you know.
Yeah.
So we were chatting to people, and I was joking, saying I felt underdressed, you know, because normally I do the cosplay, but I make it out of balloons, and people were going, "Oh my God, that was you!" You know, which is nice. So it is something you become known for, and people recognize it. You know, when you're doing your death makeup, your corpse paint.
You know what's weirder though, right? And this has happened where you'll be walking down the street, and some lad is wearing your T-shirt and won't recognize it. Or you're in the
my T-shirts probably wouldn't fit him. I'm a small.
Well, it's your band T-shirt. You know what I mean? And like they're wearing your merch and you don't recognize it without the paint. Or you'll be in the jacks and you'll take the paint off or whatever, and you're just like, okay, this is weird, you know. But then once you put the paint on, it's like, oh my god, and then it's just kind of like disappear into the ether. So it's kind of good, I suppose, where you know you can you yourself you can be like, oh, I can just kind of blend in and no one's. But when you have when you're kind of performing, you're doing your thing or whatever, I suppose it's kind of like your secret identity or whatever, right? Where you can kind of just blend in.
Two bloody celebrities. I've never been recognised in public.
That is not true.
Okay, now come on.
You have a very distinct hat.
Yeah, but I'm known as the guy who wears a hat around town. I'm not known as him from such and such, you know.
Yeah, but to be fair now, there's only one other person that I know that is the guy who wears the hat.
Oh, who's the other one?
You know, the Mr. Balloonistick.
Oh, yes,
you know,
of course.
The balloon guy who wears the hat.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that even if it's something as simple as a hat or a pair of glasses, people will recognize it.
That's true.
I mean, look at Clark Kent.
That's also true.
Yeah, he takes his glasses off and suddenly he's like chiseled with good looks.
To be fair though, on that point, there is the theory that it is a superpower of itself that's not kind of like discussed as such, where it's not that he just takes out the glasses, it's that he is portraying something different to make people perceive him in a different way. Or everyone's just really stupid in Metropolis.
Well, no, see, here's the thing, though, because I wear glasses.
Me too.
Yeah, so you know that when you take them off, some people will say to you, "Oh my God, you look so different."
I think if I passed you in the street and you weren't wearing your glasses, I wouldn't know you were.
You didn't recognize me at the Wild Lights.
There you go.
So I bumped into Cian at the Wild Lights last week, and I wasn't wearing my glasses, and it was the funniest thing because I heard somebody, because you were with Viola, and I heard somebody saying, "Okay, stand over there and we'll take a picture," and instantly I just went, "I know that voice." Yeah, because he has a very distinct theatrical voice
that you can hear from miles away.
Yeah, and so I turned around and I said, "It is Cian," and I was like, "Hello," and you kind of looked at me for a minute before you realized.
Well, see, I had a party of like 15 relatives with me, and I was like, did I miscount?
We've had a straggler. We've a stowaway.
It's not nerdy, but can I just give a shout out to the Dublin Wild Lights? It's fantastic this year. It's really, really good.
Oh, it's better than last year.
Yeah.
If there are even tickets left, you know, get on that. It's so good.
Have you ever been to it, Dara?
I have. Is this the thing that happens in the zoo?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, I did not. I was meant to go last year, but it never worked out, and then I just kind of forgot. So
I'm sure there's tickets still left for January. Like, you should go with your band in the corpse paint.
In the corpse paint, and take pictures and video. That would be amazing.
There is a big, like, to scale dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
To be fair,
you need that new album work, like, you know.
I don't know.
They do have a performance stage.
Yeah, I don't know. We could definitely put it on the list. Put it in the maybe pile.
I'm sure the kids would love it.
You'd have a built-in light show.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Hey, listen, if Dublin do want to pay us for that, that'd be cool. And then we go hang out with Red Pandas. That sounds like a bit of fun, all right. So.
Oh, no, the flamingos as well. I bet the flamingos are great crack.
Well, yeah, but see, here's the thing. So when you go in for the Wild Lights, they have all the animal sections closed off because all the animals are, you know, it's nighttime. They're sleeping. But the Red Pandas are always still awake. So you do get to see them.
See, they're the best part. They should just, like, close down the zoo and just have Red Pandas.
Just have Red Pandas and meerkats and penguins.
Yeah, like, you know, all the hits, you know?
Yeah.
The rest
How do you
just,
think a red panda would look in corpse paint?
well, see, it would look like a regular panda, just smaller. You know?
He's got his panda eyes on.
Yeah, it's good to go, you know?
That's how we smuggle them out of the zoo. It's like, these aren't the red pandas. These are our own normal pandas we brought with us.
Actually, insider joke in the band, we do refer to ourselves as the black metal pandas. So,
It's so funny to hear you talking about putting on the face paint, though, because just for the cosplaying, I the same time you were doing the baby bump paint, I went as Thrawn from Star Wars, and my flatmate went as Kratos. And we had that weird experience where, because he's pale and Thrawn is blue, we had to like paint each other's faces, and it just wasn't even a weird thing.
While I shouted instructions.
Exactly,
in the other
yes. So, like, after all these years, is it still like a weird thing to put on corpse paint in front of the band guys, or is that something you even think about? Like?
No, dude. Listen, when you're in a band of people, it's weird. It's like the weirdest. It's like a mix between a really weird relationship and a marriage and a business all at the same time. So, yeah, you kind of you spend way too much time together. You know you have to change out of clothes. So yeah, it just doesn't. Nothing really phases anymore. Stuff just kind of happens, and you're like, and then you're
just
like,
roll with it.
Yeah, you just get like, all right, whatever. But no, it's just what I will say is, and I don't know if you guys have had this experience from paint or stuff, but the most unmetal part of the whole thing is when you're sitting there afterwards, piss and sweat, and you're just there with a baby wipe going, hold on a minute. Just taking it off.
I've had that.
And then
I've
you're
had
like,
that experience. Photo shoots.
And you're just like, oh, okay, hey, what's up? It's just like the most unmetal thing ever.
And you have to pull those faces in the mirror to get certain angles.
Yeah. And then at one point you just like, you know what? I give up. It can just stay there forever.
Well, see, to be fair, when you're there, most of it ends up on my guitar anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So yeah, no.
There's one thing.
I will.
So you go first.
No, sorry. I will say, like, the con experience is a little bit better. It's still sweaty and horrible, but it's less sweaty and horrible.
And there's more chicks.
No, it depends. Depends where you go now, I will have to say. It's not just dudes. But sorry, go on.
Well, that's what I was meant to ask. So, Dara, have you ever, outside of your band commitments, have you ever cosplayed as something?
Yeah, fair bit. I haven't done it in a while now because I just haven't got a chance to. But I want to kind of get back into it. But it's just we've been so busy with panels, man. Like, look, at JCon, I was in the Starbucks half an hour beforehand, writing the panel. So I don't know. Maybe if I manage time a little bit better at the next panel we're doing, I might cosplay. But like you always manage to hold it together, Keen. So fair play.
Oh, I have Stevie. Stevie does all the work. Like
Oh yeah, but like you guys still show up, like and do it because that's an awful lot of effort. Like, can I ask?
Oh, we just spend months getting ready for it. We're already like shortlisting. Like, I mean, we told you we've already like Prim's gonna go as Yoda probably at the next con, whenever it is. Like
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Well, can I say that, Katie? I have a question for you. Like, when you're going into doing your cosplay, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the actual like process for it? Because obviously, you have the standard kind of thing where you pick your idea and then you spend a while kind of picking and choosing what you want to do and then that. But from your perspective and the approach you take based on like balloons and paint and so it's a more kind of like body focused, right? How do you work that in? Because when I met you, you were dressed as what's the My Little Pony?
Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash. Thank you. So let's take her for example. How did you go from Rainbow Dash cosplay to your interpretation of it?
Okay, so the way that one worked out was it was actually more of it was a last minute thing where it was like, well, I have most of the parts already. So I had the wig from an old Halloween costume. I had the wings from when I modeled for a hair competition a couple of weeks before that. So it was literally just, okay, I have all of this. I've already dressed as Rainbow Dash. I know how it goes. I just got to make the dress out of balloons. And that was the thing that that took the longest because I had no idea how I was going to put rainbows on a dress, because normally when you make a balloon dress, it's straightforward. You do one or two colors and it's super quick. I could make a dress in 4 hours.
Right. I'm going to stop you there. Right. Uh-huh. How for our listeners that aren't aficionados of balloon clothing, how does one make a balloon dress?
So to make a balloon dress, you need to have a dress form, first of all, that's going to be roughly the size of the person who's going to be wearing the dress. So in my case, that's me. So I have a dress form that's roughly my size, and then you need to learn how to weave balloons together to make fabric.
How do you learn that?
That is wild. That is wild. Okay.
So in my case, I learned from a really good friend of mine. He's an American balloon artist. His name is John Reed. I'm gonna plug him in there. And he taught me how to make balloon dresses. And then he taught me, I think it was 2 or 3 different ways of weaving the balloons in order to get a dress. And he taught me how to make lace out of balloons as well. And I just kind of went from there and figured out, my own style and how I make them and how to do it. So it's, I don't want to use the term it's easy when you know how, but it's easy when you know how.
But like John's done, not to segue too far, but John's done some mad balloon dresses. He did one for Amanda Palmer, didn't he?
He did one for Amanda Palmer, yeah. And I'm not going to go into that story because it's so much more fun when he tells it.
I think you're plugging him as a guest now.
I am, yeah. We're going to have to get him on the show.
But the thing about it is, it's right. So the questions, look, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it really is an experience, and it's impressive beyond words because there's just so many questions, right? So how often? So I'm going to try just answer them. Ask them as much as I can from like a normie perspective. So forgive me. But how do they not pop?
So you'd actually be surprised at how sturdy these balloons are. You can
are they regular
once
balloons?
They're woven together. They're the ones that I use. They're biodegradable latex.
Right. Okay.
Environmentally friendly, which is great. And the way you do it is when you blow them up, you leave enough, you don't overinflate them, because if you overinflate them, they're going to pop. So you leave enough kind of give in the balloon. You let some of the air out so that, and as well as that, at the same time, what you would do is you would make the dress the day before, so that by the time you go to put it on, it has already kind of, some of the air has seeped out.
So it's a bit more flexible.
So it's a bit more flexible, yeah. And then because once you put it on, it gets really, really hot, and the latex shrinks a bit, and the air kind of expands in the balloon. So if it's too full, then it'll pop. But if you give it that time to kind of let some of the air out and not everything, they're actually really sturdy. Like, you can sit down wearing one.
Really?
I run around conventions hugging people wearing them, and people are always afraid, I can't hug you because it's gonna pop. And I say, no, it's totally fine. You can pick me up in it, it'll be fine. It's more just sharp objects really that you need to be aware of, or open flames, which you kind of wouldn't be near in a cosplay anyway.
You'd hope so.
Yeah, but no, they're sturdy. I think it was John that told me that a woven balloon dress can take 8 pounds of pressure on it before it pops, something like that.
Yeah. Was that the same with the poison ivy dress then?
Yeah, the poison ivy one was really sturdy. It hung in there.
And
I actually had to pop it afterwards.
And I remember we were talking about this briefly at DCC. You said you get the day out of it, the full day, and then you'd have to. So what would you do afterwards? Would you pop it and back in the room or whatever, and then change?
Yeah. Okay. No, that's it. At the end of the day, that's it. You get changed. I've gone home in them.
No way.
Or I've sat in the pub afterwards. Yeah, I've sat in the pub afterwards. Just deflating the thing.
Well, don't sell yourself short. You gave away one of your poison ivy arms to a little girl, didn't you?
I did actually. Yeah, we were sitting outside a cafe. It was a Cafe Nero.
Yeah.
After Comic-Con, and I still had the. Did you see the poison ivy when it had the big fly traps coming off the back of it? So this little girl ran up to me and she was just like, "Can I have one of your balloons?" Which, fair play to her. That's, that takes guts. And I literally just ripped it off the back of the dress and handed it to her. I was like, there you go. That's one less thing I have to worry about later. I think the rainbow dash one I just gave to Stevie, I was like, there you go. There's a dress. Enjoy. I don't know what she did with it after that.
It's still here.
It's still there. It's probably not looking very good right now.
Hold on. It's still intact, Kane.
It's shorter. You'd struggle to get into it, but as if you were to scale it, yeah, all the balloons are still there. Yeah, yeah.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
I mean, it might fit Prim at this point.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about balloon cosplay as well, is that once you're in it, you need to wear it all day because of your body heat and stuff like that. The balloons have already started to shrink, in that if you take it off, even to go to the bathroom, it's not going back on after. Like, it's done.
Right.
So you need to make sure that you can commit. And that's why I always make them in 2 parts if I can, so that I can just hitch up the skirt, which is a very glamorous image. But because the alternative is just not drink any water all day, and that's not something I can recommend to anybody.
And those convention centers are warm.
They are, yeah. And I would never recommend anybody not drink anything all day, because you'll pass out.
No, these like places like
places
like DCC in particular, it's always so warm that that would be hell on earth right there.
Yeah, like the first one that I did, the Harley Quinn, I wasn't sure how it was going to go because I'd never really been to a big convention before. So I was kind of worried about, people coming up and trying to pop it. Now I know that's not the case, but you always worry about these things.
Yeah.
So when I made the Harley Quinn, I actually wore clothes underneath it, which you wouldn't normally do with a balloon dress because it's so warm.
Right.
But I wore an entire outfit underneath the dress just in case, and it was torture. Like, it was so hot.
Well, okay. That's look, that's one thing about the scene now in particular. Like, everyone is really, really supportive. So, but yeah. I understand the fear. I suppose doing something for the first time, you're always going to have you're going to run through the worst case scenario of everything, right?
Well, that's it, and because people will always say to you, "Oh, what happens if it pops?" And so you get that into your head. You go, right, well, what does happen if it pops? What do I do then?
Yeah.
So yeah, you just have to think about these things. Now I know now that if I was to run around the convention center in a balloon dress, a lot of people give you a wide berth. And it's not that they're afraid of it or anything. It's more out of respect. They're kind of like, okay, I won't touch it because it could pop.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. I do get a lot of kids come running up to me, though. They all want to take pictures, they think it's great, which is, I think that's lovely.
Oh, we couldn't even get a chance to talk to you at the time you were Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, no, Rainbow Dash, I didn't get to do it. Like, I had all of these plans. I was going to go meet, guests and see things. And I took 2 steps, and every time I took 2 steps, there was like 60 people just came out of nowhere and mobbed me for pictures.
That's one thing. That's one thing. I don't know. We will take a break here, guys. And we'll come back and do the second part. So, guys, stay tuned here on Phoenix 92.5 FM. We'll be back after this short break. Alright, so you're listening to the podcast and you're like, hey, I want to get involved, but I'm not in Ireland and I don't have time to listen live. Well, guys, listen. We've revamped everything. We've made it super easy. Nerd to Know Media, everything. Nerd to Know Media, Gmail. Nerd to Know Media on Twitter. Nerd to Know Media on Twitch. Nerd to Know Media across the wall. Everything that you can do, you're able to find us. Nerd to Know Media. nerdtoknowmedia.com is our website, just in case. You can tune in via the TuneIn app and catch us live if you want to. Type in Nerd to Know Bases on Phoenix 92.5 FM and you're able to find us. The stream to the show as it's happening live is actually on our website, nerdtoknowmedia.com. Also, if you haven't got time for that, or if you want something a bit more convenient, we're on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, all across the board. And if you do want to catch us live when we record the show, because spoilers, we tape the show, we do it live on Twitch. Nerdux, NEDDUX, is where you can find my personal Twitch channel, and we stream there, the show, every single Thursday at 9 p.m. So guys, no excuse not to listen. We're very easy to find. nerdtoknowmedia.com for more information.
Download and do it again.
Alright guys, and we're back here on Phoenix 92.5 FM, Nerd to Know Media, and we're back with our part 2 of our guest. So Katie, before we went off, we were talking about actually the whole mechanics of working with the balloon cosplaying and that. So how did you decide I want to do balloon cosplay?
So in a roundabout way, it was kind of out of necessity. because my first experience of Comic-Con was the fact that Kian and Stevie had asked me would I paint a bump for her cosplay, and I was like, yeah, okay. And the original plan was just I was going to go and paint the bump and then go home, you know? But I wasn't really, like, I didn't have anything else on that weekend because March is usually very quiet for me in terms of work, and there were still tickets left to Comic-Con. And then I found out that Doug Jones was going to be there. So I was like, how could I not meet my hero? Doug Jones.
I feel like we should give a few minutes. How was your Doug Jones experience?
Oh my God, he touched my face. Okay, no, for context, so what?
Yeah, we need context. That's a sentence, all right. Yeah.
For context, when I was meeting Doug Jones, I decided, because I had no cosplay planned at that point. So I decided, because I was, I spent so long painting the bump and everything, I decided to just paint my face. I was like, I'll just paint my face and that will pass for a cosplay. And so what I did was I painted the kind of the Abe Sapien
from Hellboy
kind of face on my own face. So it was blue and scaly and it had that kind of thing to it. And so when I met Doug Jones, then he recognized it. Oh, here we go.
It's all right. Just keep talking. It'll catch up with you.
So he recognized it straight away. And he said, these are my colors for Hellboy. And I said, yeah, it is. And I, at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, Doug Jones. I'm talking to Doug Jones. And he actually touched it. He was like, this is amazing. And he touched my face, and it was the best experience of my life. And I have never washed my face since.
So is it like in The Simpsons now where it has gum stuck to it and
gum and old plasters?
Yeah, the vibrant pink hair distracts from the smudges just by your ears.
Well, yeah, see, this is why I do it. Somewhere else to look.
You no longer control the face. The face controls you, and then he gets stuck.
Yeah, no, this.
Yes, Simpsons reference bingo.
This face belongs to Doug Jones forever and always.
Well, I mean, if it has to belong to someone, right?
Yeah. But to answer your question, your original question, before we got sidetracked into Doug Jones, so on the second day, because I'd already met Doug Jones, I decided, I'll go and I'll cosplay as something. And I had no costumes, nothing planned, but I had balloons. And I had made balloon dresses before for photo shoots. So I said, why not try and make a cosplay out of the balloons? And so I spent all night I stayed up all night. I think I stayed up till about 3 or 4 a.m. making a Harley Quinn costume out of balloons. And then I still had to finish it the morning of.
Right. Wow. That's impressive. Anyone who can finish a cosplay on the day, I must say, is incredibly impressive. I know I've heard tales of the hot glue gun fix in the middle of the day, but fair play for hammering it out. So, talk me through that kind of process of the run up. So, would you get up mad early and do it, or would it be literally walking in, stapling things together? Well, not stapling.
No, so it's usually a night before, because I want to give the dress or whatever it is time to shrink as well. So it's usually a night before job where I'll stay up until 3 or 4 a.m. because it can take anywhere from 4 to 9 hours to make a dress, depending on what it is.
Jeez.
And I've kind of gotten it down to the point now where I don't like to spend more than 6 hours on it because I just want to sleep.
Well, that's fair.
So yeah, I usually stay up most of the night, get a couple of hours sleep, and then get up early and do the makeup and the wig or whatever it is that goes with it.
Well, look, sorry, King, go.
There you go. No, I was actually going to say, how did you find, because you did for people who may have been in the room, you've entered the competition twice, once as Balloon Harley Quinn and once as Poison Ivy, I believe.
Yeah.
How did you find the cosplay competition experience?
Overall, it was good. It's more for the fact that the people who were also in the competition were really nice and really fun. And I met a lot of really interesting and cool people just from that. But other than that, it's a lot of waiting. So they bring you into the back room and you're waiting for an hour or two before the competition even starts. and then the competition itself takes about an hour because there's so many different categories through. So it does take most of the day. So if you have plans for Sunday and you want to do the cosplay competition, I would say cancel all your plans because you're going to spend all day competition.
Really?
But it is good fun, and you know, a lot of people, they don't really expect to see somebody covered in balloons up on stage. So I always get a really nice reception from that.
And like, would your cosplay experience, or like doing your balloon cosplays, would that be limited to DCC? Is that kind of what you're aiming towards as your, like, your, for want of a better word, your WrestleMania of the year, like?
Ramble. I'm going to say yes, really, because this happens in my downtime from work. So a lot of my work is seasonal, so it's usually from May until December, but with kind of a small lull in August. So it's perfect for DCC because that happens in March and August. So
Right.
the that I can just, like, you know, I'm not giving up work because I only really work weekends mostly. So
Right.
if I get, you know, a gig in, I kind of have to take that.
So your work is seasonal.
Yes. It is very seasonal. But that was the nice thing about JCon, was that they had actually hired me to be there, so it meant I got to go to a convention and also work at it, which was nice.
That's always good, you know. And like, so we're about a year, well, actually less, really less. Sorry, I forgot it was like nearly December. Christmas is coming, who knew? Yeah, we're like 3-4 months away from spring edition of DCC, and then, you know, another 8 months away from the big one. Do you have anything coming up for those?
It's all just plans and ideas and wishful thinking right now, but I would like to. I definitely want to go back to DCC. I don't know in what capacity. I don't know if I'll just go and cosplay or if I'll try and get like a demo booth or something. I'm not sure what's happening with that yet.
Right.
But I definitely, like, people will probably see me there anyway. I just don't know what capacity.
Great. And, you know, let us know, and we can give you a plug on the show or have you on beforehand to talk about it anyway. So.
Yeah, sure, that'd be great.
Actually, before because I know that we have a lot to cover still on the show, but would you have any advice for anyone who's going to work with balloons or cosplay with balloons?
Just do it.
Oh.
That's all I can say. Like, when I first went into it, I was worried about what's going to happen with it popping. Are people going to be nice? Are people going to, you know, whatever it is? It's just, and it goes the same with if you want to do a balloon cosplay, if you want to do a regular cosplay, if you want to do something made out of paper, like, just go for it, because you don't know what's going to happen, and it could be the best thing you've ever done.
Very cool. Yeah, so that's kind of everything I have to say, Keen, this week.
Well, then I think this is the perfect set, because I know behind the scenes info. Dara has been rearing to talk about a certain Star Wars game for about 2 weeks now, and we didn't find time for it last week, and I'm very excited to hear his thoughts.
Okay,
so,
well look, we won't go on too long because I know you guys have things to do, but we will go another 10 minutes, I suppose, 10-15 minutes. And actually, by the way, since our guest last week, I've got into Pokemon challenges where people where people are doing Pokemon runs but challenges, so they can only complete Pokemon with a Ditto.
Oh, I love Ditto.
Yeah, or they can only finish. I'm watching one here. I can complete Pokemon Gold with only an unknown, so a team of unknowns.
Unknowns are lethal.
What's that challenge where it's like you can't save, I think, and if your Pokemon faint in battle, you have to release them.
Yeah. It's like
that's
that.
The Nuzlocke.
The Nuzlocke, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, but this guy actually. There's a bunch of different channels that do them, and they're like, you know, they're half an hour to an hour and a half or like that, and I kind of enjoy them, and I don't know why, because they're really dumb, but they're also super fun at the same time. So the stakes though. Like, I watched Team 4 Star do like a Nuzlocke run,
and 3 Pokemon out of 4 died on the first gym.
Oh.
And they've spent hours. They named these Pokemon.
Yeah,
They built a relationship
That's
with
the thing.
them.
You have to name them as well. You
Yeah.
have to get attached.
And they like play like in the arms of an angel when they die and all that kind of stuff.
I know, like, what? Sorry, go on.
I'm still not over Twitch plays Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
That was
Oh,
where
that
they
was-
had the entire Twitch community commenting. So they were all playing it. So they were commenting, up, down, A, B.
Is that the same one as the fish that played it?
I don't think so.
Because there was
No.
a fish that had like swam up for up and like an actual
No,
goldfish.
no. That was after it. This is the origin of the the armistice god thing.
Oh, I see.
So this is going way back. This is also Sean our age. This is like a proto internet kind of thing. 2009, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
2009.
Was it that long ago?
I think so. Yeah, it was 2009, 2010. So because it was when
That's
Twitch
like a
just
few
started.
centuries in internet time.
Exactly. People today don't even know what this is, But
Empires have burned.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Trying to watch videos before YouTube. What was it, Flash?
Oh, Flash, yeah.
Flash has been discontinued in a couple of weeks.
No way.
Yeah. So
Now
here's
I
the
do feel old.
but here's the
I'm
thing
still
though.
mourning Mega Video, for goodness sakes.
But here's the biggest kick in what, right? In college, they made us learn how to program in Flash, and everyone's like, why? And they're like, oh, because you'll never know what it's used for. And it's like, it's being discontinued. It's like, good job, guys. You lasted 3 years.
That's true, actually, because when I briefly went to college for video game design back some decade or so ago, and it was the same. We were learning how to animate in Flash and everything. So it's crazy, yeah.
Like it's been horribly insecure for a very long time. Like I built a program that hijacks your browser. No, literally.
Theoretically.
No, literally. Literally. I'll send it to Keen and he can play with it. But it's a game basically.
No, don't send it to. I don't want you hijacking my stuff.
No, look, it's fine. It's only me.
Just let it happen.
But basically, it's a game, right? About a computer, about a server that becomes self-aware and goes on a little journey through the internet, right? Through multiple choice questions, right?
Hashtag Skynet.
Yeah, and then what happens is it randomly trolls you by opening up random tabs on your browser. So it hijacks your browser and controls it for a little while.
Oh no! Oh, that sounds really creepy.
But it only is allowed to work because Flash is such a bad thing to use. So yeah.
I mean, I got scared playing Doki Doki Literature Club. This feels like a bit extreme for me.
Ah no, sure. Look, it's grand. It's only me. I wouldn't do anything bad on your computer.
I would never hurt you.
Or maybe that's what I want you to think. No. To be fair, though, I would say it is quite scary what Flash can do. So I wasn't surprised when I saw that today. But I was like, oh, well, that was a horrible waste of 12 weeks learning how to program Flash.
My poor little Flash crocodile will never live again.
Never. It's going to die in the ether. But yeah, so look, speaking of video games, so I actually bought into the hype of a video game, and for context, the last time I bought into the hype of a video game was Watch Dogs. I bought that game 4 times. I've willed myself to try and play through it twice. I can't do it. I hate it so much.
Wait, why did you buy it 4 times?
Because he hates it so much.
No, because I want it to be different every time. I want it to change, and it won't. It won't
That's
change.
like the equivalent of my dog going in and out the back garden door and hoping the food will be different.
Yeah, I know, right? So, for context, that's what happened, right? And I'm sitting there because I got it once for free when I used to edit. When I used to edit for a gaming magazine, and I was like, cool. And I was like, oh, it's not great on the PC. I'll buy it for the PlayStation 360. Oh, sorry, for the Xbox 360. It'll be different there. It wasn't. And I said, oh, look, it's on sale on the PS4. I'll buy it for that too. It wasn't. And I bought it, and I returned it with the Xbox 360, and then I saw it for €5. I was like, oh, I'll buy it again and try it. It wasn't. Moral of the story here is, folks, when you return a game once, leave it returned, okay? If you didn't like it, don't buy it again. It's not going to change.
Things don't change.
To be fair, the DLC of it actually isn't bad that I got for the PS4, so there is a happy end, and the DLC is a little bit better.
Once you bought more stuff.
Once I bought more stuff, exactly.
If things go wrong, throw more money at it until they go right.
Exactly.
The game's not great, but I can change it. I can make it better.
No, it will.
God.
It will magically become better without doing anything. Okay, so after being horribly stung for that, I was like, right, I'm never going to buy into hype for a video game again. It's just not going to happen, you know? And then I was like, right, so Star Wars sucks. All right, I hate Disney Star Wars, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, right, I'm not going to buy anything. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to buy anything. And I bought Battlefront 1, and I didn't like it. I was like, oh, this is bad, right? I bought Battlefront 2 after all the controversy. And I was like, you know what, Battlefront 2, yeah, it's not good, but they released a massive update, and it's actually become a very, very good game, right? So I played a lot, and then I'm like, right, okay, so The Mandalorian came out, and I'm like, oh, this is great, Star Wars is good again. And it's just like, right, okay. So I bought the Mandalorian action figure, and I was like, cool, he's awesome. Let's see, this game, it's the first single-player game in 10 years, you know, it'll be good. And I started playing it. I'm like, why am I so bored? I feel like I had nothing's happened. And then
I mean, before we get into the details, though, even before the game was released, you said the protagonist had the most punchable face in history.
And that hasn't changed. He really does. Anytime I see him, I just want to hit the guy. I'm like, look at your stupid face. You know.
This is the guy with the red hair, right?
Yes, and the punchable face. Mr. Punching Face.
Yeah, I played like the first 20 minutes of that game just before it turns into Dark Souls.
Yes, right. But it's not even Dark. It's not even Dark Souls, right? It's Uncharted and Dark Souls
with lightsabers.
Just about, right?
You say that, but that sounds cool.
No, it's not. It's not, man.
It's all about marrying the two together, and sometimes things just should not be.
Yeah, like this is an abomination. Right? Like crimes against God were committed with this game, and I'm just sitting here going, listen, Uncharted's okay, not a huge fan of it. It was the worst part about Spider-Man were the Uncharted segments, and I'm like, this is literally just Uncharted, and you're a Jedi, kinda, but you know, Punchy Face is such a crying little bitch about things. And you're just like, okay, your master was killed. That's not my problem. Go do something about it. So he won't. And, you know, he just mopes around. He goes in and climbs tombs. And I'm like, I don't want to play Tomb Raider. I already played Tomb Raider. I hate this. Just kill people. And then you go and kill your man. And they come back and you're like, what is this? Sorry.
Okay, so I think something may be getting lost in translation. I know you hate the main character, but like,
I hate all of it.
Game doesn't work?
All of it.
What?
I hate all of it.
Isn't.
Just everything. I wanted to stop.
This is why I wanted to get into this as early as possible. I thought I expected like a certain amount of teasing would have to come with this.
I feel like I've been trapped here. No, look, from a technical standpoint, it's a beautiful looking game, right? It is.
Oh, they're always beautiful looking,
right.
The Star Wars games.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
It looks amazing, and it has great vistas, and the worlds are fantastic, and that kind of stuff. But it's just really, really boring. Like, you should never be bored playing a Star Wars game. For comparison, a game that came out 11 years ago, The Force Unleashed. That's the best game ever. You pick up people, you throw them, you fire lightning at them, you're hacking people off the bits. You know, it's fantastic, and you feel like a Jedi should. You know, with this, with Punchy Man, you're just sitting there going, "Oh, I'm sad because my master's dead," and then he has dreams.
Anakin, is that you?
No, at least Anakin was cool, right? He was kind of like. He had some personality, and you know his
girlfriend. He hated sand, though.
Yeah, you know, because it's coarse and it gets everywhere. But at least we knew that. You know, with Punchy Face, you don't even know what's wrong with him. He's just sad all the time. You're like, man, listen, if you're sad in the Star Wars universe, you go to the dark side, and then you become interested, and then you learn Force lightning. You know,
there's some advice, kids.
He's not wrong.
No,
I'm not.
I'm not. Like, you know, at least if he learned Force lightning, he would have a personality. This guy. Sorry, go on.
Everybody knows Vader is way cooler than Anakin ever was.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's just the coolest dude ever. But yeah, it's everything that it shouldn't be, and just feels wrong when I'm playing it. And I have no desire to play it again. And I spent €90 on it, and I hate myself a little bit for it.
€90.
€90.
Did you get like a premium pack or
Yes,
something?
I did. I told you. I bought into the hype. I wanted this to be good because they lied to me. Sorry.
That's how they get you, though. It's called advertising.
It's just like, listen, I don't know. Don't.
I
buy
know
it,
what you
guys.
mean, though, because the first two, the Battlefront games, I say the first two, that's blasphemous in the first place. The first two EA games were so kind of mixed that when the single-player Star Wars game is coming out, you can't help but get excited, you know?
I will have to say, though, the second one now, if you pick it up, it actually is fantastic. They've built out a fantastic game with a single player that's actually quite good. But even a tacked-on single player that takes 2 hours is exciting. And the characters there are quite good. Like, I like the main character of the Battlefront 2 series.
The defector from the fire and everything, yeah.
She's great until she defects, and then it's like, oh man, why did you leave the good side? You know, to go and be with the rebels.
You were the chosen one.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like she's like a cool Imperial.
You're supposed to destroy the rebels, not join them.
Yeah, but she's a pretty cool she's like a member of Death Squad or whatever, and it's like this is awesome and it's great. But yeah, man, like I would say. Just don't play it. Like, people are raving about it online. They're like, "Oh, it's great." I'm like, "No, you need help. You have Stockholm syndrome, and you need to stop." Like, you know. So I just all I want is a good single player game, and that's it. And that's it.
But I think it's kind of the whole hype around Dark Souls as well. Like, everybody knows Dark Souls is not actually a good game. It's just really, really hard, and if you do well in it, you get to brag.
Yeah, like, look, Dark Souls. I've played Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne and stuff, and they're not really for me because I agree with you, Katie. They're not really a good game. They're just a gimmick and like a way to brag. And it's like, hey, that's cool, but I don't want to spend £60 for that. You know, I'd rather have an engaging story or at least something that is fun and interesting. Like, I collect Star Wars games, so I'm in this weird kind of thing where I can't actually return it because it'll break my collection. I'm like, but if you go back and play anything on the Xbox, even the bad ones on the Xbox, like the Obi-Wan Kenobi game, which is atrocious, it's not boring. It's just hilarious. You know? But like, they re-released Jedi Knight 2 on.
Oh, that's
PS4.
one of the classic ones, right?
And that's great, yeah, because that has it's called Catan, of course. But you know. You're a Jedi. You can hack up stormtroopers. You can use the Force. It's pretty much like Doom at some point, and it's just a lot of fun. And I'm sitting there going, "This is great." They did this 20 years ago. EA, why haven't you done this? What have you done? You have failed at life. That's what you've done. You know. And I'm just like, okay, if you guys can't make a good Star Wars game, hire somebody who can. I'll do it for free.
I'm just surprised Disney. I mean, I know you're not wild on the Disney Star Wars movies,
no.
but you think a company with that much influence would see that not much content is going out and either crack the whip or just swap them out? Because, I mean, they've swapped out directors so haphazardly. Why are they trusting this conglomerate to run it?
Well, they're not. You know, EA pretty much lost it there when they were nearly charged with criminal negligence over the loot boxes, and that's why Battlefront 2 is good. But
that actually happens.
That actually happened, yeah.
Fantastic.
That's why things changed. But what I will say is, you know, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau look like they're going to take over Lucasfilm soon. I hope to Christ they do, because The Mandalorian is exactly where Star Wars needs to go.
It's a good audition, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so. It's like, hey, look, we fixed Star Wars in 4 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, in 4 TV shows. So, yeah, man, like, you know, I think things are going to change, but this thing was horrible. For me, it's the worst thing that happened this year.
Those are some strong words.
maybe not that bad, but it's up there. It's definitely in the top 10. The point is, it's bad. Don't play it.
Okay, well, actually, I've got a better question for you. What, if you were given free reign, what would you do with a Star Wars game? If you could use any character, any time period, any mechanics, what would you do?
Are we?
Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
Are we include? So I want to expand the question a bit. Are we removing remakes of old games?
I'm interested to hear your answer. Go whatever you want. You can do remakes if you want.
First thing I would do is I do HD remakes of KOTOR of the Knights of the Republic series.
Yes.
Right, and then I'd do Knights of the Republic 3 and finish that out, and then I do a digital remake then of Jedi Knight, release that fully, and then with the money based on that and the success of that, then I would go and probably make a Darth Bane game or a Darth Maul game that was half in production. Like, it's not hard. You just got to kind of pick something, but to grease the wheels, do the easy thing first. Release remakes of games that people love on the current gen. Use that money and goodwill then to pump it into other things. So, the Boba Fett game was half finished. The Darth Maul game was fully finished. So, I'd just be like, hey, let's just use these, polish them up and pop them out. And there you go. It's not hard. It's really not. Like, that's the worst thing about the Star Wars licensing. It's literally, I'm in a room surrounded by Star Wars figures at the moment. It's not hard to monetize this. Don't be stupid. Just hire somebody who isn't a total mongoloid to do it.
I'm just seeing all of your quotes on the glossy PS4 box with a really disapproving face in the bottom corner.
No, I'm telling you, Jar Jar Binks game.
Yeah.
Especially the part where he goes into politics.
Well, actually, he's kind of the whole reason for the rise of the Empire. It's his fault.
Oh yeah, there could definitely be a game in that.
Well, not I don't know. In in The Force Awakens, Jar Jar Binks is actually in carbonite in the back. So you can find him just there. Yeah, so he is in the games. He is canon. But
no, that could happen in The Mandalorian.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair. As a
bring
bit of...
Jar Jar.
Just like the tongue is still sticking out.
No, like, to be fair, I do think the Jar Jar thing could have been done. I think Lucas should have held on to his original idea with Jar Jar, but
yeah.
Apparently,
I will say the Clone Wars does some lovely stuff with them. Like, I'm not sure. Have you seen the Clone Wars cartoons, Katie?
No, I haven't.
The two highlights for me, Jar Jar wise, are one, he's made president for a day and he has to have a standoff, like negotiation wise, with General Grievous and act tough.
Oh, I want to see that now.
The other is him and Mace Windu go on an Indiana Jones adventure together.
Oh my god!
Funniest thing ever.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Because he has no patience for his nonsense. So there are ways you can use Jar Jar. It's just you have to be a bit careful with it.
Yeah, I'd say a game. He wouldn't lend himself well to a game, but he would lend himself well to a TV show foil. I think the future of Star Wars is in its TV presentation, because it's just because you can kind of do what you want. I am excited to have yourself, myself, Stevie, and Bryn in a room after we go. No, we should all go see that train wreck together. And then do the show after and be like, what was that?
We all meet up in town or something?
We should all we have to all see it together and then just be like, oh my god, that was atrocious, and then do a show after. I think that'd be great.
Again, I'm seeing images of at least one of the three of you, Stevie included, like punching a stormtrooper cardboard thing. Should we bring lightsabers?
Always.
If you want. I'll dig out my Jedi robes.
Oh, of course you have Jedi robes.
Then you're gonna have to go to the prom.
Nice. See, the thing is, I might have to come straight from work, so I'm wondering, should I go to work blue?
Yes, absolutely.
And just not saying it.
Yeah. And if anybody asks, why are you blue? You just say, what are you talking about?
I don't. Red eyes.
Or just be like, why are you not?
Actually, as a kind of attachment to your story of the painting the black face paint on, one of my favorite things about being thrown at DCC was going to the bathroom and coming out and having three people jump because this blue guy with red eyes was just suddenly standing next to them at the mirror.
But that's something you see at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Almost everybody is body painted.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing. I would have, like, I always love going to DCC for for loads of reasons, but I enjoy the closer you get to the convention center, the less weird it is to see people in costumes. Because when you're up at the Spar, it's like, this is kind of weird, but then when you get closer and closer, it's less weird, and then it's just kind of hilarious.
That's the only knock I would have against JCon, which is we got lost in like a very domestic estate near Croke Park.
Oh yes, well, you guys,
superheroes.
You guys got lost there on the way. On the way back, we kind of knew our way a little better, but we were with lost people.
Yeah. It doesn't have that sort of build up to it, you know. But that's more down to the venue than JCon itself.
Very true. Yeah, Croke Park is different. Like I don't even know where Croke Park is. I just kind of walk till I find it. It's like,
well, if I keep heading in this direction, I'll hit it eventually.
Follow the brightest star for 3 days.
It's like London, you know, when you're trying to get to the British Museum, you're like, if I just keep walking, it'll show up eventually, and then it does, and you're like, oh, here we are.
Oh, actually, because I've gotten lost in the city of Taris a few times, I finally have Knights of the Old Republic and The Force Unleashed.
Fantastic. There you go. That makes everything better. Just play
the right thing.
Yeah. You are. You know, you need to play Knights of the Old Republic and then tell me how great it was. And then if you don't like it, don't ever mention it to me again. We'll have to stop doing the show, Keen. No.
High stakes.
I know. No, to be fair, like it does have one of the best stories, and I think you really enjoy it. Force Unleashed is just fun.
Yeah, I'm liking it so far. The only problem is it's kind of a BioWare thing. There's so much content in it.
Yeah.
And I play it while minding an infant. I've had to just skip like the tournaments and the card games because if I get 2 hours a week, I don't want to spend it running errands for some saps on Taris. I want to get to the story. No,
to be fair, like once you get off Taris, that's when it really starts kind of.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Like
Taris is great though.
It is. Taris. Yeah, you know, R.I.P.
The mutants that live underneath and everything.
It's no Citadel though.
But it was like the Citadel before the Citadel.
That's true. Proto Citadel.
That's true. Like I think
start somewhere.
Well, a lot of the stuff that people would know about BioWare kind of came from there. So yeah, no, it's great. Like, and then the second one, they fast track the whole Jedi thing. So after you get off the spaceship, you're a Jedi. So
yeah, just here's your lightsaber. There's the stormtroopers. Go have fun, Dara. Cut them down.
Go hit things with the glow stick.
Don't be sad. Don't be punchable.
Oh man, I have to say, and I'm kind of sitting here going, will I try again? Because the game is looking at me now.
Will I buy another copy just in case I got a bad copy?
No, the game is looking at me now, and I'm like. It's like I can't even look at you. Like, I hate it so much. Sorry.
I want like a little 6-second video of you punching the game with a picture of his face on it.
See, I don't even have that one. I have a special edition, so his face is not. I did that on purpose.
For goodness sakes, I'll do you a printout.
Yeah. No. just get a life-size people pop up of him and just hit it and be like, oh, he is single-handedly the worst Star Wars character next to Finn.
All right, I'm gonna save your Finn thoughts possibly for the review.
Oh no, we'll wait. No,
Star Wars 9.
Yeah. No, the reason why is just they missed a massive opportunity with a very interesting character.
Yeah. Oh, that I would agree with. But why worse than Jar Jar? Why is Finn worse than Jar Jar?
Because Jar Jar was at least had a reason for being there, right? Finn just doesn't. None of them do, except for Daisy Ridley, who kind of has a reason for being there. The rest of them just like, hey. And then it's like,
well, to be fair, Poe was there first.
Yeah, but Poe was supposed to die halfway through The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So it's like they're all just kind of tacked on, it's just, there's no stakes. Like, everybody loves Baby Yoda, and he doesn't say anything. And it's just like, there you go, there's your failure of, an infant. Now, I know he's a 50-year-old infant, but still an infant nevertheless, is more interesting than developed characters, apparently.
But that goes back to the Boba Fett thing. People love Boba Fett and Darth
Fett's
Maul,
awesome.
and in the movies they say nothing, more or less.
Oh, no. To be fair now, they say a couple of things, as you wish, and so...
Oh, that's...
Nobody ever talks about the unsung hero, though. Jango Fett.
Oh, man. Jango Fett is absolute boss.
Yeah, he was amazing.
I love Jango Fett. I think he gets a bad rep, because his son is kind of
a bad rep from who? I want to have strong words.
Well, his son is a bit of a disappointment, to be fair. Outside of the EU, but Jango Fett's great. Sure, he's the reason for all the Clone Troopers. What isn't,
Yeah, but that's what a weird thing. Jango Fett is a copy of Boba Fett, and Boba Fett is like a worse version of Jango. It's like an infinite loop. It just keeps going forever.
In the business, we call that a recursive loop without a break.
Okay.
But look, I'm excited.
You're learning lots of things tonight.
I'm excited about Star Wars for the sole reason of the show we're going to do after it. I'm gonna go. We're gonna clear a schedule for like 4 hours and just sit there, and there'll be a lot of screaming and crying. And then I'll just be glad that's done, because this has ruined a lot of things. But Katie, I'm sorry that I went on a Star Wars rant. I promised myself I wouldn't. Keen, you're a bad man. You are a bad man for making me go on a Star Wars rant.
No, I feel like this is like the series finale, because every episode we've done is veered into Star Wars Disney stuff. This is like the big face-off, the final boss.
Well, that's when the movie comes out, and then we'll be done. We'll be able to move on to more happy things about kittens and
I want to believe that this time. I really do.
You need to
with lightsabers.
That's a win right there. That's a win right there. All right, so look, guys, we're gonna put a pin in it. We've gone long again. Well, pin in a balloons. That was funny. So we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up this edition of the show. Katie, thank you so much for coming on the show. Hopefully, we'll have you on again. It's been a lot of fun. Have you had fun?
I have, yeah. I've been silently laughing, trying not to overtake the whole time.
You gotta just kind of jump in, just go for it, because if you don't,
Yeah, it's kind of a bumper car type mentality.
Well, see, this is it. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I just said to myself, just roll with it. Don't worry about it.
Well, look,
I think that's what you could watch it come up in blue at the start of episode 9 instead of a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
just don't worry about it. Just roll with it. Don't worry about it.
Just don't think about it. Don't get upset,
and then repeat it in the opening title crawl in the yellow over and over.
Just periodically in the subtitles, just be like, just roll with it. Let it happen.
No, see, subliminal messaging is what they should have done. They should have been like, you like this, you like this, you like this, you like this.
Yeah. You like this, you like this, please like this, save the franchise.
Are you smoking yet?
Well, that's what they're doing now. That's what they're doing now anyway, with their massive reshoots and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so look, we're going to wrap up again. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything you'd like to plug, Katie, before we let you go?
I just, plug the Instagram account. It's at mannequin_blue, the Facebook account, Mannequin Blue Art, and my YouTube, which is very inactive, but I'm hoping to get on real soon.
Oh, the famous last words.
Yeah. Talk to me in January.
Yeah. What about you, Keen? If there's anything to plug for, let's go.
I suppose my second Nerding with Children article is up on Geek Ireland. This week it's about introducing Prim to video games with mixed results. So far it's getting a lot of attention and I want to keep doing them. So if you're on Facebook, Geek Ireland's a great page on its own, but check it out. It's got some good jokes and a picture of my infant daughter eating a box of Lego Star Wars.
And it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Fair enough. I've enjoyed the series.
What about yourself, Dara?
So buy my merch. Go over to Horrenda Bandcamp and buy stuff so we can go on more tours, because we're playing London in March and it's going to be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, we're supporting a band called Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult, so that's going to be one for all the kids and all the family.
See, this is going to link back to the start, because the kids are going to avoid the face painting sound and go straight to the heavy metal.
No, corpse paint.
Corpse paint, there you go. Exactly.
Fortnite corpse paint.
Fortnite corpse paint. So if you're on Bandcamp, go over and buy merch. We're doing a Black Friday sale, running all the way through the end of Saturday. So type in Black Metal Friday, and you pop that in and you'll get 20% off everything because we need your money. So yes, if you do that, that'd be great.
You can't get more honest than that.
No, we need you to buy shirts and CDs and stickers and all that kind of stuff. And if you do that, that'll be great. So please do. And other than that, you can go over and check out our Facebook, our Instagram, all that kind of stuff for the show, Nerd to Know Media, nerdtoknowmedia.com. So yeah, buy stuff. Thank you. Right, we'll be back next week, guys. Same time on Saturday, Phoenix 2.5 FM. So bye.
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 Download and do it again.